G'day, everybody. Everything new on the sun breaking. This is incredible. Apparently, cell phones are now exploding um, in Lebanon. So this is Amir, and he just did a live broadcast, and he's basically reporting what is coming from J Post as well, and he's a great source of information. This is one person to subscribe to if you're not already to get the latest information. But here's the news. Round two, additional Hezbollah devices explode across Lebanon. Let me bring this back into. There you go. And it says, pull up here. This comes after thousands of Hezbollah members were wounded on Tuesday after pagers that they used to communicate were detonated. Now cell phones are going exploding, basically. And the question has to be asked, well, what's going to happen tomorrow? What else does Israel have explosives in? I thought it would have stopped at the pagers, because then they would have forced all the Hezbollah over to cell phones, and then they could track and collect that information. Well, now cell phones are going off, I guess, because probably Hezbollah is now looking at all its communications and saying, maybe this has been infiltrated, maybe this is bugged, maybe this has explosives in it. So I think Israel's hand is maybe slightly being forced. The suggestion was that the explosion of the pagers was forced yesterday because Hezbollah members, some were starting to be suspicious of the devices, and so now they're lighting them all up. Now, what's the next thing? Satellite phones? Do they have C4 attached to all the cars and the vehicles of Hezbollah? Who knows what's happening? It says Lebanese media reported another round of explosions throughout the country midday Wednesday. Initial vague reports of networked devices exploding came from Beirut. Basically, anything potentially with a battery in it that communicates could be used. Something like a router, a network device of a router. Well, there's nothing in there to explode unless they put C4 in it, and that's the only answer. Because what they can do is all the technology that Hezbollah enemies, and this includes Iran, all the technology that they're using comes, it's created somewhere, Philippines, China, Japan, so they can intercept these shipments, take them, add C4, add some explosive material, add whatever, rig them up to explode, and then send them on their way to whatever organization ordered them in the first place. So it would be an incredible move by Mossad, by IDF, by Israel if they're doing it. Again, the cloak and dagger spy stuff you see in the movies has not seen, they haven't seen anything like this. This is astounding, to be honest. It says, if this were true, it would be the second consecutive day of potential sabotage and explosions in Lebanon. Now, there's also apparently paratroopers and Israeli and IDF troops heading to the border. Part of the Knesset thing was that they had agreed to include Lebanon in the war, just like Gaza was, so that they eventually, at some point, the residents of northern Israel could move back. And so they're now taking on Hezbollah. And again, you look at Psalm 83, where they take out the inner circle of nations first and then the outer circle. Well, the inner circle, the closest was Gaza. And as they move outward, as they clear out Gaza, they move outward to Hezbollah. And then the next step from Hezbollah is going to be Iran. So they're addressing the inner circle right now. So go read about the Psalm 83 prophecy of the wars. The inner circle addressed first, and then the outer circle is destroyed after that. And again, how much of this, covert activity has been done to cell phones and pagers and communication devices in Iran and wherever else Mossad has fingers. These sorts of things they kind of keep in their back pocket till they absolutely have to use them, and it looks like the cover's been blown, or maybe it was all planned, but they're being detonated right now. And are we going to hear of some things happening in Iran? That's really the next question. So it's an incredible thing as you look at the situation. So stay tuned. Pay attention to people like Amir here and other folks. Be prepared. Again, I will repeat, it is very unlikely that your cell phone or batteries in your cell phone are going to explode. They may spontaneously combust and start a fire, but not explode. And you're not the target of Israel or some secret service anyways. It's highly unlikely for any of this to be happening without the uh, you know, without explosives being in those devices, trigger detonators, and that sort of thing. For batteries to explode like that, I don't think it's possible. For you to hack a BMS, you could hack a BMS and maybe overcharge it. But with most batteries today, the most thing that's going to happen is there's going to be a fire. There's not going to be an explosion from that. It's highly unlikely for batteries themselves to explode, even under the worst cases. Usually they heat up, they get real hot, and they melt down, or they have a fire, but not explode like you're seeing in the videos on Twitter and such. So I'll leave there, guys. Thanks for watching. Be prepared.